Hi, welcome back to Fruitful Minutes. We're joined again by Dr. Callie and Jessica from our education team. We're going to continue answering some commonly asked questions from our customers. We've got some good ones today, guys. So, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first question is, are these supplements regulated even though the FDA doesn't approve them?
This is one of my...
Sounds juicy,
Yeah.
right?
One of my favorite questions.
Okay.
We get it from numerous customers, even some of my own family who's kind of unfortunately purchased things outside of Fruitful Yield. Oh,
Sure.
I got this.
Yeah.
And it's not approved by the FDA. So the FDA will never approve any supplements. They've only approved prescription drugs to treat, cure, or prevent disease. Right. So there's a disclaimer on all the supplements that people ask about, and they say, oh, the FDA doesn't approve this. They will never approve it. DSHEA, the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act, is actually the act that that regulates supplements.
Right.
So in order to make particular claims, they have to go through this specific protocol to even say what they can put on their labels.
Right. And that's for the protection of the consumer and the brand, everybody involved. Because it's all about education and like making a conscious decision when you buy that supplement.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's not like the FDA is just completely out of the situation.
Right.
Obviously, if an adverse claim comes up, then the FDA does get involved. So they're definitely there to protect us and to make sure everyone's aware of the benefits or possible dangers.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. But that also reminds me of, so Prop 65. I feel like that's becoming more of a thing right now because more companies are being required to state that given a certain ingredient. Help us explain that because I'm even a little fuzzy on it.
So the Prop 65 is a California law that says certain things have to be labeled. So if there's something that is known, birth defects or cancer-causing ingredients, it has to be labeled by Prop 65. So a lot of companies sell specific labels to California that have Prop 65
to comply with that.
For compliance. And a lot of companies are switching instead of dual labeling their products, like here's the California products, here's the rest of the United States. A lot of companies are switching to including the Prop 65 claims. So that doesn't necessarily, it sounds scarier than what it really is.
Right.
So lead is one of those things on Prop 65 that has to be labeled. So natural clay containing products are showing up with Prop 65 and people are like, there is lead in this. There's also lead and more lead in your spinach and your sweet potatoes naturally occurring in the environment, and those foods naturally take them up. So it sounds scarier than what it really is, right? So like we know that there is a small amount of lead in clay, but because it has lead at all, they have to be slapped with the Prop 65 label. Just to be safe, just because California requires it.
That doesn't mean that product in its entirety is going to be whatever the claim says.
Right. And again, spinach and sweet potatoes are two things that people consume. They don't have a label, but it's naturally occurring in the actual environment. So it gets incorporated into those foods.
Right.
So it's a lot less scary than people realize.
So, and quick follow-up, would you say that that's maybe why things like USDA organic or non-GMO help to kind of like, so like let's say a product has Prop 65, but it's also non-GMO and USDA organic. So you're still making an educated decision, which is like safe relatively, even if it has that on there.
You know? But anything growing in the ground, just like your own produce, your own vegetable garden at home is still going to have those trace amounts.
Okay.
So.
Like rice protein always typically has arsenic to some small degree because rice actually takes it out of the environment. That's one of the function of the actual plants is they're recycling and redepositing mineral content. And it just happens that arsenic is one of those things. So pretty much all rice has some arsenic. Now you're not like growing the rice in the field of arsenic. That's not what's going on.
Which is what you think of though when you see a label like that.
Right. And people are like, oh, plant proteins have more heavy metal. Yeah, because it's plants and that's what they're absorbing. Like they just do. And if you're not over consuming those products or using them inappropriately, it's typically innocuous.
Yes. It's all about making educated decisions.
Well, and I say like, because I've even heard like women over talking in the gym about like the plant proteins and there's heavy metals, but it's like, you're not doing anything to purify or clean those out when you pick them from the ground. At least when you buy like a plant protein, they're doing stuff to clean they can't just give you anything. If anything, the plant proteins are safer, if you want to go that far, than the actual plants.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. That was a loaded question. I knew it was going to be. Okay. And then to close things off, it's natural, so I can take it with my medication, right?
So that is
another
tough question. And people come in all the time. And, there is natural options and it's not that natural options are bad, but there's a level of questioning that we cannot answer at the store level.
Back to Deshay.
Back to Deshay,
Yes.
there are laws in place saying, like there are certain claims that we cannot make. And
Right.
what we always recommend and what is appropriate for people to do, if people are on medication, you have to check with your doctor or pharmacist.
100%.
100%. Even though it's natural, there are some interactions absolutely between vitamins and certain medications, especially like thyroid medications.
Yeah.
And it's simple things like calcium and iron.
Right.
You
Right.
can't do together. So it's like, there are just simple things like that. But
Yes.
then there's herbs. Herbs have more interaction with
Right.
medications.
Okay.
Things like homeopathy, typically no interaction, no side effect. And those are considered over-the-counter medicines.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there are some safer things that if people are taking a lot of stuff, I would point somebody who's on a lot of things maybe to more homeopathy for things until they talk to their doctor or pharmacist.
Which is key. The key here
Right.
is talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
they're ultimately the ones that can answer that question
Right.
for you.
Yeah. And
Yes.
with the pharmacist, because people are like, my doctor won't know. Like, this is a lot of kickback
Sure.
we get, right? Like,
Okay.
my doctor's not going to know. He's not supportive of supplements. We hear all that stuff.
Yeah.
Take the picture of the back of the label so they can look at the ingredients, not the front that says the name. Right,
Right,
because
right.
doctors aren't really keen on supplements, and,
Yeah.
and
Right.
most of them aren't. And some
Sure.
of them are, but the pharmacist will be able to look up the ingredients because there is a supplement physician's desk
Yeah. So
reference.
objectively, they can just
yeah,
go
absolutely.
off of
Yeah, so that it
interactions.
can be looked up.
Yes.
For most things, but you have to know the ingredients, not just like the name of whatever product it is,
Yeah.
because that might not tell anybody anything.
Gotcha.
Well, and to snowball off of that, like even when you say that, like the customers come in and, oh, my doctor doesn't know about this, they're just going to say no. So I'm not telling anybody to go just seek out another doctor, but you
Right.
have to, they're not trained to,
Well, and to
complement
some
medicine.
degree, you have to be your own advocate for your own health. I mean,
Right.
so I'm going to Fruitful Yield and Shopping. I have to know what I've already talked to with my various doctors, my healthcare team.
Right.
Ultimately,
But there's doctors that know how to
Right.
work with prescriptions
Right.
and supplements,
True.
and there's some that only use herbal remedies. You just have to seek them out,
Right.
Yeah.
But
And you should always be full disclosure with any doctor you're working with, whether or not they know what the
Right.
heck you're on, they
Right.
should still know. Because I
Yeah.
see people like that come to the store all the time. I want to try this, but I don't want to tell. You should still tell them.
Yeah,
The doctor's the one
absolutely.
person that
Right,
should
Yeah,
probably
right.
they
know.
should know
Yes.
whether or not they know what it is you're taking or why you're taking
Yes.
it or understand like homeopathy. They should still know that this is what you're doing, just to be full disclosure.
right.
Absolutely. Wow, that was good, you guys.
Yeah.
Such good information.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add? No? Okay, good. We hope that was helpful for you guys. Those were loaded questions. If you have any further questions about this topic or really anything else, we'd love to hear from you. Send us a direct message or you can leave a comment below. We look forward to seeing you on the next Fruitful Minutes.